Is an Italian gravel greyhound tough enough? That's what I'm here at Mammoth Tuff in California to find out. This is the new Pinarello Grevil F. It can handle up to 50 mil tires, which is what I've put on here. Some Italian tires, the Vittoria T50s. I have never done Mammoth Tuff here in the beautiful eastern Sierras of California. I'm excited to do so. My buddy Chris Johnston is on another Pinarello bike, the Dogma F, which is more like a all-road bike to my eyes. It can handle up to a 42, but it is a gravel bike. He's gonna give it a go. He has squeezed some 45s in there. We'll see what the insides of those chainstays look like at the end of the weekend. Bike comes in a number of different builds. This is the Force build. It's got a 40 tooth. Normally I'd like a 42-ish for flatter racing. There's a lot of climbing on tap, 8,000 feet or so over the 80 plus miles out here at high altitude. We start at 8,500 feet and descend down to this area where we are now, Chidalgo Canyon, which is where we are, these beautiful red rock canyons. I have no idea what is in store. That's part of the fun of gravel racing, right? You put on your best guess 4 tires, fill up your bottles, give it a crack and see how it goes. So Mammoth Tuff, is the gravel greyhound up for it? Is the old gravel gray hair up for it? Come along for the ride and we'll find out together.
Oye, vamos a tirar una vez más. Miguelito. Ajá, yeah. Dale hasta abajo, Vito, que te voy a guayar. Ey, no se acabó la noche y está alerta. Ponte en 4, baby, ven pa' caticatita. Oye, ponte pa' mí, mami, dale pa' atrás. Le damos bien duro hasta la mañana. Dale, mamita, con todo lo que da. Gritando mis nombres hasta la madrugada. Bájate, hasta el show. Vente, mami, el platitero. Hasta la mañana te rapo en la cama, te pongo en las pilas y el puse de rama. Si tu cama yo llego, la popo lo dámela. Ven el que me jala. Movie, yo tengo la chica virada, baby, dale.
Okay then. Reset, let's go. Where's a mullet when you need it? All right, that is Mammoth Tuff. Done and dusted. Bike, generally great. I had 2 main issues though. The old engine, not that great, and the pilot is a chicken. But aside from that, enjoyed the bike. I'm gonna go clean up, get a milkshake, and then we'll come back, talk about this bike. I'll see if I can find my man, Chris Johnston, so we can talk about his experience on the Dogma GR. Hey everybody, Chris Johnston, Outdoor Bros on YouTube. If you don't follow him, get with the program. How did your day go, sir? What did you think of the bike?
I thought it was great. I really liked just how sporty the Dogma GR was. I really enjoyed kind of the little bit of flex that was here in the seat post. I felt like when it got really chunky out there today, felt like I was never really too fatigued, too uncomfortable, which was kind of surprising because I came into this thinking that this may be actually a little bit too aggressive of a bike for Mammoth Tuff because we had the sand, we had the descents, we had some chunky stuff. I actually found it to be quite comfortable. And as a guy who likes, you know, kind of the faster gravel bikes, I felt like it was pretty dang good.
I was also pleasantly surprised by how cushy both this bike and that bike were. I rode that one at home, and I don't know why my expectation was this one was going to be firm, maybe like an old school bias against Pinarello, thinking it was like a straight ahead race bike, but it was, quite plush. Some of that was the tires, and a lot of it, I think, was the post. Pinarello claims this move is like a centimeter and that one close to, and
yeah, I think so. 8 centimeters, I think.
Yeah.
8 millimeters.
8 millimeters. Yeah. 8 centimeters.
8 centimeters.
It's like the Diverge SDR suspended rider. One thing that Pinarello has done for years and continues to do, particularly with the GR, is slice the sizing very finely. There's like, I want to say 8 or 9 sizes.
I think so.
For that guy, and 6 for this, and then also bars. You can get them in a lot of different configurations, and I really loved how these bars felt.
They were comfortable all day.
Yeah, it's like there's a bit of give to it, and also just the dimensions. Like, I love how integrated bars look, but if they don't fit you, it's like, what's the point of this?
Sure.
So, like having a 42, 110, doubt. I think we've got pretty similar
fit sizes,
fits,
I think
right?
so. Yeah.
You know, like 76 saddle height, and that felt great. This one comes stock with the 46. You can specify other ones, but I felt a little bit tractor driving, and then it flares out to 50 something. So like the last, I don't know, 20 miles I was riding by myself today, and would try to get low, and I'd be out here like, this is not aerodynamically optimized. But that's something you can change. This is a 2-piece, but it's internal, so it's not quite as easy as the old school design to change, but you can change both this, and you can even specify when you're buying a bike the cockpit on that, as you should for the pretty penny that both of these, particularly that guy, cost.
Yeah.
Another way they slice it very finely is the fact that there's two pretty similar gravel bikes. This one is a little bit more all-roady with a 42 specified clearance, although I know you push that. And then this, goes up to a 50 with, still probably 4 or 5 mil. What do you got in there?
Okay, so I think it's
those ain't 42s.
Yeah, so I think it's 45 front and 42 rear.
Yeah.
And I went 45 front, 45 rear.
Yeah.
I've ridden out here a bunch, and I just felt like with the soft sand, with the conditions, thankfully it rained yesterday, but yeah, I needed as much tire as I could get.
I screwed up the intro. I should have introed you as Mr. Mammoth Lakes, which is the beautiful place where you are. Chris lives in Costa Mesa, has been coming up here for how many years?
Since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now coming up here to ride bikes.
All the time. This is like, yeah.
So set the stage for what the riding conditions are like up here.
One of the things about Mammoth Lakes is it's just a lot of soft sand. It's a lot of up, a lot of down, right? Here in the mountain, everywhere you go, you're gonna hit this pumice stone sand.
Yeah.
And it is like thick, almost like beach sand. And I think people who come from out of town and they come up here and ride, they don't realize that it's actually pretty tough to ride through. So that's on the mountainside, and then you get into the valley side where we rode today, and there's even more of it. So riding's fantastic, rolling hills on that side, a lot of up and down up here, but yeah, you definitely want to go pretty conservative when it comes to how wide your tires need to be. By conservative, I mean, kind of push the limits as much as you can, because you really need it out here in Mammoth.
Err on the side of extra tire.
Absolutely.
More rubber, more better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting to see men's pro winner Caleb Botcher, all the way from New Zealand, riding straight up slicks.
Yeah.
And riding with Lance Haydett, who is one of the best bike handlers in the biz here in North America. And the two of those dudes not only dropped everybody in the pro group, but passed the lead moto on
crazy.
the first descent. And yeah, doing so on slicks, just easy peasy.
Well, yes.
I that's not me. I do like middle slick tread for a lot of time, especially if I know where I'm riding. Like a lot of Boulder's dirt roads are exactly that. They're dirt roads. But if I'm squealing down rough, loose, sandy, unbeknownst to me trails, a little bite up front, I'm with you. Erring on the side of a little stance and a little bite is the way to go.
What did you think of these? Did you want more tire, less tire? Did you feel like it was just right? What would you have changed tire-wise on your setup today?
Probably just a little bigger in the front, maybe a little lower pressure. Sure. It was pretty rattly in parts.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of the day as you're getting fatigued. And
what was your tire pressure you ran front and rear? Do you remember?
25, 26. And I'm like a $185, and with 20 pounds of bike and 2 liters of water. This is what the Silca tire calculator said for like the cobblestone setting. Like, yeah, there's cobblestones here and
perfect
in Sierra.
That's exactly what this is.
Do it.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed the variety of the topography and the scenery. Like the scenery is just absurd. We're in the eastern Sierra. Yosemite is just north of here. Yeah, we start at 8,500 feet or something like this.
8,500 feet right now.
And then the course I did descends down to almost 5,000 feet, and coming up through Chicago Canyon looks like Mars with the super cool Red Rock Canyon area. How'd you feel about the gearing on the bike? Was it adequate?
I'm actually a fan of a larger front chainring.
Okay.
So with the Explorer group, of course, that's kind of where you make the big changes, because you only have a 1046 or a 1046. So I usually like to run a 42 or a 44. I felt like today I struggled a little bit on the descents because I was just out of gears.
Yes.
So I would have liked something a little bit bigger. That being said, we may be sitting here having a different conversation if I had gone with a 44. I may say, hey, I actually would wish I had a 40 or a 42. So I felt like it was okay for the day. But if I had to come back and I could tweak equipment, I'd probably go with like a 42, maybe a 44, just because some of these hills are just rolling hills and you really want to go fast and get into like a decent rhythm. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, like with the Dogma GR, this comes stock with a 40, and the one choice you can have, the 1046. And I was out of rope on both ends at different points of the day. Our neutral descent, we were over 50 miles an hour. Not that you were pedaling there, but some people with doubles could pedal, and I was just using my my natural resources to stay with the group there. And then at points in the day when it was double-digit climbs, I remembered a couple times like coming up through Chicago Canyon, looking down, I'm seeing I'm well over threshold at like 60 RPM and keep pressing the left lever looking for more. And
more.
yeah, so like a mullet would have been nice in a couple spots. So like a lot of bike racers, you give me anything and I can find something to complain about. Like if it was a mullet, I'd be like, oh, the jumps are too big. And now this one's got nice small jumps, but I could have used a little bit more gearing. But
I hear you.
that's all part of the deal. I, was able to stay on the bike and was not forced off the bike by the gearing. I was forced off the bike by a lack of nerves at one point. We had a super loose pumice stone sand you were talking about, and at an angle, and the bike was doing this, and I just started squealing and got to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna walk, and climbed off the bike, and people are like zooming past me, and I'm like, I'm just walking. Like, Delaney, you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm just scared. And then got back on and surfed through the sand for like a mile or so. So front end geo. In my head, I was thinking, would a super slacked out mountain bike ride give me the confidence to stay on the bike there? I don't know, probably not. But it is interesting to see, this guy's 71, depending on the size, it's 71.75 or so for the effectively size 57. A little steeper than this guy, if I'm reading the charts correctly. Right? How did you feel about the front end handling?
I actually thought it was pretty good. I felt like sometimes it was a little bit tall in the front. Mm-hmm. I wish it was maybe a little bit shorter, and maybe that's just me adjusting my fit, removing some of these spacers. But I never felt like I was, out of control in any sections. I felt like it handled really well. I felt like the front end was never squirrely, and I found that I actually appreciated it when we were in some of these rolling hills and even the flat pavement sections. And on the climbs, of course, it felt fantastic.
Yeah. What are you packing, man? What do you got in your...
You want to see?
Yeah, what you got in your down tube there?
Well, let me show you. See, this is one of my favorite things about the Dogma GR is, most down tube storages are just this big, right? Not
yes.
This. The Dogma GR. Hang tight. Do this.
Drum roll.
On camera here.
A birthday balloon in there.
Huge,
what is it?
right? I mean, what is this? It's like a foot-long sub.
Yeah, so what are you packing in there?
Well, funny
just
you should
the
ask.
stock stuff?
Stock stuff. I've got a pump in here. Thankfully, I didn't have to use it. I've got some CO2. I've got a tube in here. I've got some tire levers. I've got everything that I need, and I'd say there's probably still another 4 to 6 inches of storage in the down tube. So if I needed to shed a layer or something, I could have just thrown it in there, which really impressive. I love that about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm often running cameras front and rear, like I had a camera on today, so I definitely appreciated having the flat fixins in there. When we did a shakeout ride the other day through Chicago Canyon, I had this packed too tight and this thing popped off, and I was appreciative of the fact that there's a little boingy string on there, so it didn't drop the thing, and then just got it configured so it did not pop out. So that's why we do shakeout rides, especially when we're changing bikes all the time.
Totally.
Just cramming stuff in there and going out, it's better to have that happen the day before the race or a couple days before the race. I also appreciate the positioning and that I can have my Hugs Manila Mango Shake, held securely there and still open this. So in addition to being able to access this while keeping your water bottle there, it's also good, I think, structurally, in that a lot of bikes have the cage mounted on the door.
Yeah.
And so it means one of two things. One, they have to effectively overbuild this so it's super heavy but secure for the cage, or this is a little floppy because you've got so much weight on there. So
did you ever find that you felt the reach was a little bit too long to get to it, or did you feel like it was just in the right spot?
The reach for the cages?
Reach for the bottles.
Yeah, they're low for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you asked. I just carried this bottle around with me all day, did not take a sip of it. I had my Castelli jersey on that has a bladder in there, 2 liters, so went through that, stopped at one of the aid stations way out there. Kind gentleman helped me refill and get it back in, which is always the challenge. So drank 4 liters, but did not touch this at all. I do like how they sit low, aside from the fact that it's aerodynamically more efficient to be lower near the bottom bracket, just because you can run a frame bag and you're tall boy, so it's like a cake and eat it too.
Totally.
I did not bring my cake though. I've got I don't know how many frame bags at home, and since I was wearing all kinds of layers, I had my Castelli Perfetto on and knee warmers and gloves, and even had a headband. I was very cozy at the start because we were going 50 miles an hour down the hill. It was 40 degrees at the start. I like to be warm, so I had all this stuff, and then a couple hours in, it was 65 degrees. And
welcome to Mammoth.
I should have brought a frame bag to put my stuff in. One thing I appreciate about this race, Amanda Nauman and David Sheik, who run this, do a fantastic job in so many ways.
Agreed.
Having drop bags is one of the many ways they've just got it dialed. They're races themselves. Amanda won Unbound back in the day, Grevil Hall of Famer now, and they think about the details. So, whereas I don't think about the details. So being able to like drop a bunch of stuff in a buddy's drop bag, thanks Scott, at the aid station where we filled up was a nice thing. But I like that this comes with rivets, so you can have a nice tidy frame bag without Velcro. Because like, I'm kind of a wide dude, you know. I'm like thick in the legs and thick in the back end and like thick in the head. So when I've got Velcro here, it's like pulls on the shorts. I don't like that. So having bags that are attached by bolts, nice thing. Just have to be smarter than the bolts and bring the bag with you. So.
That's actually something you have that I don't. I don't have that bolt right here.
Mm-hmm. You can bolt on fenders though. That's.
I saw that. Yeah, so I can bolt on a rear fender here.
Yeah.
In the event that that's what you want to do with your Dogma GR.
Yeah. Seems like, you know, Costa Mesa. Do you own fenders?
I do not.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't. Yeah. No, if it's raining, I'm going to be on the trainer.
Yeah, for those 2 days out of the year, yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. For the 2 days, yeah.
What would you like to change? If you were to come back with either of these bikes, what would you do differently?
Okay, so if I were to bring this bike back, I think I would, number one, make these a little more narrow. So I wish that these were like a 40 or a 42. I like a little more narrow bar. I'd probably, again, change front chainring. I'd go to a 42 just to try it. I don't think I'd go all the way to a 44. Saddle was great. I felt like everything was dialed in pretty well. I think my one gripe would be tire clearance. If I could fit 50s on here, I think it would be great for Mammoth Tuff. But of course, 45 was sufficient. I felt like it was plenty fast. But if Chris could design a bike, could maybe kind of tweak a couple things, I'd go 50 front and rear, and I think it would be fantastic.
Okay. For the price, I feel like the bike should come with a power meter. I use the Favero Asiamo power meter pedals, which I like quite a bit. I saw Garmin just came out with a new version of the Rally pedals, which I did not like the old ones, so hopefully they have improved those. Using the Shimano S-Fire gravel shoes, which I love, have pontoons to just really have a firm pedal platform. You've got to push down a little harder to clip in with these because the body is just like a scooch taller than Shimano pedals. I was talking to Justin from Shimano during the ride, and he said his recommendation was just to loosen the pedals a couple clicks.
Got it.
So it's like the nice sweet spot. But my preference would be an integrated power meter. Like let the pedals do their thing, be pedals, and then let a power meter be a power meter. And SRAM makes great power meters with Quark, so that is one thing I would like to see on a bike of this caliber and price is a Quark meter.
Especially this one, being the higher end, top of the line bike. I thought for sure there'd be a power meter on here, so I was a little surprised to see that.
Yeah. You're going to be taking this bike home from here, saving me the hassle of breaking it down, putting it in a bike box. Thanks very much.
You bet.
So yeah, you'll be able to taste test this with more tire clearance, so I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Excited.
If you want to hear his thoughts on this one, follow the guy if you're not already doing so. Outdoor Bros, I'll put a link in the video description below. Thanks. Great spending time with you, great ride with you. Thanks for helping out and
you're the man.
Making this video a lot more fun.
For sure.
Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know what questions you have for me and for Chris. We'll do our best to answer. And whether you prefer the Dogma GR, the Grevil F, or something else, just get out there and enjoy the ride.
Okay, Ben, I do have another question for you. What is going on in this front bottle cage?
Hydration is important. By this, you mean?
Yeah.
My milkshake? I love myself a milkshake after an event, so we beeline to Hugs in the village here. Got a Manila Mango.
Thanks, Hugs, for sponsoring this video.
Should get a milkshake sponsor.
Gosh, that's exactly what we need.
That's a great idea.
I mean, how funny would that be if you had just like milkshakes at the end of every thing and it was just like a
milkshake product placement? Yeah.
Oh, man.
I should do that.
That is great.